What is going on, guys? This is Tristan, and today we are going over everything a starter needs to have in the pressure washing business. And guys, I'm going to distill this information down. I used to be one of those guys that literally would scroll and click and watch videos regarding all the equipment. It would make me so dang confused. But guess what? In this video, I'm going to distill this down so that anyone can go and get the exact pieces of equipment so that they can go and flourish and make as much money as possible. How does that sound? I think that sounds pretty good. Let's get into it, guys. All right, guys. So the first thing that we need to get is obviously a pressure washer. And you're probably looking at me and being like, dude, do I need to get this crazy piece of equipment? Do I need to get this crazy trailer? Do I need to get all this stuff? And the answer is no. The reason why I'm just showing this is because this is what I have. And from an organizational perspective, it is going to help just kind of broadcast what exactly you need. I'm going very, very in depth today. So within the pressure washer, just to get back on point, you need to get a 2.5 or a 4 gallon per minute pressure washer. You don't have to have the craziest pressure washer in the game. You don't have to have the craziest 8 gallon per minute or the 6.5. You can legitimately go and get something from Home Depot, from Lowe's, from Harbor Freight, and this will work inevitably perfect, legitimately perfect. Every pressure washer does the job. It just sometimes takes a little bit longer. And you're not looking particularly for the best PSI, but you are looking for gallons per minute, guys. And this is something I didn't know, but the more gallons per minute, particularly, the more flow that you get and the faster that you are actually able to clean a property. So what I like to do is I would like to start with a 4 gallon per minute, but if I only have the capital for a 2.5 gallon per minute, that is perfectly fine. It's just going to take you a little bit longer. That's the only thing, guys. And I think that's where like a lot of people get misconstrued where, oh, I have to have this crazy equipment. I have to have this. Every single pressure washer will probably be able to do the job. It's just a matter of how long it'll actually take. But guys, I just wanted to make that very, very clear. All right, so let's talk hose reels, guys, because I like hose reels as a beginner, and you can get these relatively cheap at a Facebook Marketplace or a Craigslist, to be honest. You don't have to have the craziest Titan or Hane hose reels, which are the top tier brands of this. You can legitimately get like 2 hose reels to make your stuff way more organized. I am a very big proponent on this, and legitimately it could cost like 50 to 100 bucks per hose reel, super cost efficient. But what I like to do is just keep these on a rack, and so I can just bring it all out, and reel it all up. I like to have my garden hose and then my pressure hose on to hose reels. You don't have to have this crazy trailer. You can legitimately put it in the back of your truck bed. But guys, look, hose reels are very important in just the organizational and the efficiency perspective of getting the job done. Okay, guys, so this is garden hose, and garden hose is like your traditional hose that you hook up to this spigot where you're watering all your plants, right? And I like to use Flexzilla, which is this yellow-green hose. It is really, really nice to just for flow purposes, because a lot of these hoses will get in knots where it like kinks up and then the flow goes away. With Flexzilla, you're not going to get as many kinks. And also, I like to use the 3/4. The 3/4 size allows you to have more flow, more water going to your pressure washer, which is maximizing the way the pressure washer actually works, which is highly critical. So with the Flexzilla, very, very important just to keep it efficient, keep it organized, because a lot of this stuff can kind of get mumbo jumboed. You don't want to have it mumbo jumbled. You just want to have it efficient and connected to the pressure washers. That's why I like using this Flexzilla 3/4. And let's get into the next hose. This is our pressure hose. And with the pressure hose, guys, this is what connects to your pressure washer. Your pressure washer will not work without the pressure hose, which is this gray hose, all right? And this gray hose, it is 3/8 in size. And basically you can get this at Northern Tool. You can get this on Amazon. You can get it at any pressure washing distributor that you go to. Very, very important, guys. And basically what this does It allows the pressure to, I mean, literally you can't use it without it. Okay. So, very, very important. At the very end of my pressure hose, I like to use this ball valve in which I can connect it right here. Boom. And I'll go over those quick connects in a quick second, but basically this is a DN10 ball valve. Simply put, this is how you can switch attachments, okay? So this is open, and the water will start spewing, pew, 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 pew. And then you'll close it, and the water will stop, okay? The best reason for having this is so that you can basically switch attachments. So if you're using a pressure washing gun, you can then close the valve, take the gun off, and then put your like surface cleaner on, for example, or your other pressure washing one, or a different type of attachment. So you don't have to basically turn on and off the pressure washer. I made that mistake so many times, and this is the big difference basically between a job lasting 30 minutes to an hour and a half or two. Just using this little thing, if I can take it off, this little thing at the end of your pressure hose. But very, very important, this connects to the pressure washer right here. Whatever pressure washer you use, it'll directly connect to your pressure washer, so you don't have to worry about getting all confused about that. It goes pressure washer, pressure hose, ball valve, and I'll show you the attachments here right now. Okay, guys, so I've got all attachments that we truly need. Just four main components that you need to put at the end of your pressure washing hose, right? We were talking about this. You have your ball valve, and this is our pressure hose right here, okay? I just brought it from the other side. But we've got our gun, got our wand, we've got our M5 twist, and we've got our J-rod, right? And what we do, let me just give you an example right here. We're going to attach our gun to the end of our DN10 ball valve, and then we can either just choose between the M5 twist or the J-rod, okay? The M5 twist allows us to spray. Can just attach it like that. I'm just going to pull it off just now to just show you. And it just twists, essentially. All right, just twist, and you can just spray, right? The J-rod is the exact same premise. It normally has four things. For the example, this has three. Mine got cut off. Goodness gracious. But you can spray, right? And normally it has two gold nozzles, two silver nozzles. The gold nozzles normally pull soap. The silver nozzles only pull water, and it's really good for rinsing. You can do the exact same thing instead of using the gun, right? Instead of using the gun, you can use the wand. And now you're just using a wand instead of a gun, essentially. I like using the gun just because it gives me a little bit more leverage on concrete. So it gets a little bit closer to concrete. I'm able to kind of get a little bit more pressure in that exact detail. But at the end of the day, it's kind of just choose your character. You've got your wand, you've got your gun, you've got your M5 twist, and you've got your J-rod. Those are truly the main four components that I would suggest any beginner go out there and get. You don't have to get anything crazy. You don't have to get anything spectacular. Just go and get those main components and you'll be completely fine. All right, my G's. You're probably wondering about soap and all the stuff that we need to have to apply soap. And this is my biggest thing. I always got confused with it, and it's called a downstream injector, essentially. And if you can see that, there's a little arrow going on that downstream injector, and that is where you need to be pointing it towards where the water is going to be spurting. So, for example, if I have a house behind me, that arrow needs to be pointing in the direction of the pressure hose and the gun, okay? That's where you're going to be connecting it on your pressure washer, all right? If that makes sense. But essentially, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be applying you're going to be basically like sticking this tube onto your syringe, and you're going to be sticking it into a chemical tank, right? This is how your pressure washer is going to be able to pull chemical. The chemical that we're using is bleach, right? Sodium hypochlorite, aka which is bleach. You can get it. I would recommend getting it in bulk at any supplier near you, okay? And I will actually, what I'll do for you is I will attach a bleach supplier guide around the United States in the description below. So if you don't know where to get bleach, I will show you where to get bleach. So you don't have to worry about that, because a lot of these guys, a lot of these like Leslie's and these pool stores will gauge the shit out of you regarding like pricing, and they'll price you like $12 a gallon. You don't need to be paying $12 a gallon. I don't care where you are in the United States. That is insane. And I'm making this in 2024. Either way, you need to have this downstream injector. It is a necessity to pull chemical in your pressure washer. You cannot live without this thing, all right? I would really highly suggest to put that in your toolbox and grab like 5 of these things. These things break out. You need to make sure that you're rinsing it after each and every single washing segment and washing session. Very, very important, guys. So something I like to keep on board at all times, and you don't have to have the craziest one, but I like to keep a toolbox or a plastic box or a cardboard box of an assortment of items on board at all times. So all the stuff that we've gone over, guys, like the pressure hose, the garden hose, I would definitely try to keep just an extra set on board in case if anything goes down, right? I think that's very, very important. Just some other items that I like to keep in this toolbox. I like to keep a water key just in case at a commercial spigot. We are always needing to use this water key of some sort because it's how you turn on water. Literally like anything, man, like an extra wand, extra gun. Even I like to keep some extra soap on board, extra bleach, whatever you want to call it. But legitimately just keep a box on board at all times in case if something happens. It's very, very important, guys. I cannot emphasize that enough. And even O-rings, guys. O-ring is, if something at the edge of your gun starts leaking right here, there's an O-ring inside of here, okay? There's an O-ring. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a black ring that might get torn up. You need to keep very small ones. You could buy one at Harbor Freight for legitimately $10. I like to keep those inside of the toolbox at all times. Legitimately at all times. It is very, very important, and you know, you never know what's going to happen. Okay, guys, so we definitely need a blower, and for 2 reasons, right? One, we need to blow off all the debris before and after each job. I got in a lot of trouble on this early in my career because a lot of people, they didn't like that I left some rocks on there. So you got to make sure that you get a blower. Guys, you don't have to get the steel blower per se, but you can go and get an Echo blower. You can get something very cheap on Facebook Marketplace. And then also, something that I really, really love is offering gutter cleaning. And if you're not afraid to go on the roof, this can be an awesome $300, $400 upsell for you to literally clean out other people's gutters. When you package it with pressure washing, you can get those tickets up to about $1,000. But I really like using the blower. You have to have a blower. Make sure that you have a blower at all times on deck. All right, guys, so this is a surface cleaner right here, and basically this is how you clean concrete. This is how you clean basically all flat work, all ground work. right here is your baby, okay? So just to make this as simple and dummy proof as possible, every gallon per minute for your pressure washer, you can add 4 inches to your surface cleaner. So if I have a 4 gallon per minute pressure washer, I can use a 16-inch surface cleaner. Okay, if I have an 8 gallon per minute, I can use a 32-inch surface cleaner. It is very easy. All you have to do is hook up your pressure hose right here. Okay, right here to this quick connect, and then you just pull the trigger, boom, and it's going to be spurting out pressure, and it's going to be cleaning that concrete like no one's business. No one's business, baby. So definitely need to have this on. It's a must-need tool if you're starting off. Okay, guys, I definitely want to go over the quick connects, and I used to get so dang confused over what exactly this quick connect was. Okay, so just a good rule of thumb, the female has the hole and the male has the stick, if you want to call it like that. So let me just shut this down real quick. So basically the male will be going inside. I got it. So basically these are at the end of your pressure washing guns or pressure washing hoses. You always want just a batch of these to keep on board, because if you don't, literally you're going to be out of the project, legitimately. So you always want to have a female with a female thread. Okay, you want to have a female with a male thread. You want to have a male with a male thread, and then you want to have a male with a female. Okay, basically that's the whole premise. You definitely want to have these on board. Then you're going to be able to screw them in there in case if one gets loose at the end of your pressure washing hose or your pressure washing gun. You definitely want to be able to retract that, and ultimately you definitely want to be able to replace it. These things can get super annoying. I used to have just the worst of times with these things, but as a big rule of thumb, you always want to keep these on board. All right, guys? You probably see this big old tank behind me, and you don't need to have a tank initially. You truly don't have to have a tank. I know like a lot of people get scared of like, hey, do I need to have this tank? Do I need to have this big trailer? You don't have to. Like, I legitimately started with a Ryobi 2.3 gallon per minute at Home Depot. You do not have to have anything sexy. That is so vitally important in this business. I see so many guys, they'll take a loan out, they'll take a small business loan out, they'll get this crazy equipment like the stuff that I have behind me, and then legitimately they will run out of business. It doesn't make sense, guys. It truly doesn't make sense. So you don't have to have that crazy container, and just get the 4 gallon, 2.5 gallon per minute pressure washer. I'll tell you. And for the guys that are staying tuned and all around, I really want to just kind of show you what I've got on my rig, and maybe this can like inspire you to go and get some of this stuff. But this is an 8.5 gallon per minute, and on the other side is a 6.5 gallon per minute. So we can basically potentially run, you know, about 15 gallons per minute at one time. There's a 230 gallon tank. You know, we've got our gas, fuel, our chemical tank, our toolbox, all of the stuff that I kind of just showed you with the nozzles, the wands, downstream injectors. And that's really how I do it. I try to keep it very simple. But simple, I like to keep it efficient. And I think that's how you should be in this business, because sometimes it'll get all over the place. You'll have people screaming at you. You'll have workers going all over the place. You'll have this house like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Just as long as your mind can keep it simple and keep it organized, you're going to be very, very good in this business. I really, truly believe that. Look, I want to say this at the very end, because you're watching this and you're like, dang, I really want to start a pressure washing business. First off, it is very profitable. So for anyone asking that. 2, the equipment is not the best and biggest part of your investment. I really want to get this through with a lot of people. And guys, I got a finance degree, so I know a little bit about how the numbers work, and I don't want to see people go out there and literally take a loan out for pressure washing equipment and then think this is going to get them jobs. It doesn't get them jobs, and they're like, oh shit, I made a mistake. So guys, look, I'm very big proponent on getting the most cost efficient but most effective equipment initially. And I think we went over that pretty decently well today. But guys, look, I understand even if you have the capital right now, I think getting a basis and getting a great understanding of how the equipment works and how to get jobs is the most important part of this business. And I just wanted to, have that heart to heart with you, because all of this stuff is very, very important. And if you're watching this, you are probably looking to start something like that. Guys, I just like to be brutally honest. I like to be brutally transparent. If you're new to the channel, that is definitely kind of my vibe. So if you like that type of vibe, stick around. If you don't, leave. But yeah, that's about it. I just want to have that heart to heart with you guys, and truly, I want to see you guys succeed. I don't sell anything. I don't sell a course. I'm not one of those YouTubers that have that crazy, $1 million course. I don't have anything like that. I believe goodwill will reap me in the most benefit by far. And that's what I truly believe in. So I give everything for free. And yeah, it sounds crazy, but that's how it is. And if you guys want to stay, keep it up. Guys, I love each and every single one of you, and I wish you guys the best of luck, truly. And good luck, guys. Peace.